John Fedro here, and I want to do a quick video showing you exactly which paperwork that you need to be using when you're purchasing a mobile home inside of a park. Now this is for use in all 50 states except for California and for Texas. There'll be two separate videos, again one for California, one for Texas, showing you the procedure and the paperwork to use for closing, because in most of the states we use the same paperwork, but in California and Texas we use different paperwork. So when you're purchasing a mobile home, I want to go through like everything up to the point of closing itself. And the first thing that you're going to come to when you first talk to a seller, either they're calling you or you're calling them, it's going to be a seller questionnaire. And let me say first, if you don't have manila folders, get them, and then get these clips up at the top. They keep all of the paperwork, you know, in nice orderly fashion, and then you can just keep it. And I have ones like these if I'm purchasing a mobile home in a park. I have folders like this if I'm purchasing a mobile home on land, selling a mobile home on land, selling a mobile home in a park. You can keep all your documents real handy in the trunk of your car. So the first form that I'd like to go into is the seller questionnaire. And if you don't have a seller questionnaire specifically for mobile homes, then you have to have one. You can get one free by going to my site, mobilehomeinvesting.net, and signing up there. I give you a number of pieces of paperwork. This is included in there for absolutely no charge. Again, it's the seller questionnaire. And in this questionnaire, you just have to find out, A, if it's the right home that you want to get into, B, if the seller is motivated, if they're willing to take a lower priced offer or accept payments for their equity, and then make sure that the park is, of course, something that you'd want to invest in that park as well. So if the home qualifies, you can set up an appointment. After you do that, when you're walking through the home, you have to have this checklist. Now, we give an exterior checklist, a bathroom checklist. You know, when you're walking through the home, you want to make sure that everything is in working order. And if it's not, then the price that you're going to offer the seller that'll be reflected in the price. A kitchen checklist, a room checklist, going from room to room, and of course, maybe the most important, mechanical systems, which are, of course, your hot water heater, plumbing, heating, AC, and etc. Now, the next form we come to, we're actually skipping one, and this is one that I'm going to talk about but not show you, is something that I reserve only for my coaching clients. You go to mobilehomeformula.com if you want to learn more, but basically it's a pricing sheet. We go ahead and we know which offers to make on every home, no matter what the situation of the seller is, depending on the seller and the home. The goal here is to make sure that you're ultimately purchasing the home for under $9,000. That's $9,000. And if we're paying $9,000, that's for a nice, like, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Okay, and we're probably making them payments. So you do want to get the price of the home under $9,000, whether it's all cash or you are making them equity payments. The next form we come to is a personal property purchase agreement. This is a standard contract for purchasing a mobile home in a park. This is the one that we use. Now, oftentimes we won't actually even use a purchase and sales agreement. Why? Because everything happens so quickly. And because when you're working with personal property, this purchase agreement, it can be voided pretty quickly. Let's say on Tuesday you sign in an agreement with a mobile home seller. You've negotiated a great price, and now you sign this piece of paper saying that you will purchase the home for X amount of money, and the seller will sell you their home on such and such a date. Well, let's say Thursday of that same week, someone comes in with a higher price offer, and they have all cash. And they'll come in and purchase that home, take the title, and then transfer the title into their name. Well, at that point, this purchase and sales agreement is basically useless. So if this does anything, it's to solidify in the seller's mind that you have a purchase agreement on the property. But again, most times we don't use this because everything happens so quick. You get a verbal agreement from your seller. Later on that week, we're closing on the property. You take the title, that way nobody else can get it. So that is a purchasers and sales agreement for personal property. I always teach how to use a personal property trust. So after you signed a contract for sale on the mobile home, where you have a verbal agreement to purchase the mobile home, you're going to want to write up a trust. And this is a personal property trust. You can put your car in a personal property trust, your snowmobile, coin collection if you like. And the point of a personal property trust is to keep your name or your LLC off of public record. These are very simple. Don't pay a lawyer thousands of dollars to do this. You can do it yourself. Those work in all 50 states. The bill of sale. Now, a bill of sale is when you're actually going to be, the next couple forms are going to be signed with the seller at the closing table. The closing table can be at a title company, your attorney's office, on the side of the road in a car. or it can be at the subject property, which personally I like to be doing. So you want to fill out a bill of sale, which is basically the receipt of the transaction. So you're going to get a copy of this, and the seller is going to get a copy of this, and only this sheet. And then a few of the other ones, but nothing I mentioned prior. Now this is an after agreement closing. We use an after agreement for closing when the seller will remain in the property. And what this is if we're giving the seller, let's say, $500 as a fee to move out of the home, and then we'll start making that seller equity payments. Well, out of that $500, we're only going to give them about half closing day. Whenever they leave in the next couple of weeks, whenever they pack their stuff and go, that home better be in beautiful condition, or they better not have damaged the property at all. Because if so, we're going to keep that $250 and do repairs with it. So that is an after agreement closing. They, of course, get a copy of this as well. And a promissory note. If you are going to be giving the seller equity payments for their equity in the mobile home, you agreed to give them $3,000, but you're going to give them 30 monthly payments of $1,000, you're going to want to have them write up a promissory note for you. Now, they're the owner-occupant, so they can fill this out, and attached is the security agreement, and then at the end of this you want to put a amortization table to show how many payments you have left, and in clear, understandable written language you say that there's 30 payments of $100. That's the $3,000. It's in clear, easy to understand language. That is the promissory note. You are promising to pay the seller, and of course their certificate of title. You always want to take the certificate of title with you, whether or not they're leaving that day. You want to take this. So yours will look different if you're. This happens to be a Florida title. Yours will look different, and then of course they are going to sign where they say seller, and the buyer is going to sign. Actually, you're going to put this into trust, so it's going to be your trust as the owner. So that's it. Those are the paperwork to use when you are purchasing a mobile home inside of a pre-existing mobile home park. Make sure to get yourself one of these cool little manila folders. And that's it. If you guys have any comments or questions, I will be making another video to show you how to purchase or write up all the contracts for a mobile home attached to private land, which are actually 75% of the homes in existence are on private land opposed to as parks. But this is the forms, all the forms that you need to purchase mobile home inside of parks. If you have any questions, John at mobilehomeinvesting.net. Talk soon, guys. Bye-bye.